Hey!
Hey, hi.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Hello.
That's brutal. Just two patriotic girls. So please don't take us the wrong way.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show on Magic Monday.
We named it Magic Monday. Speaking of magic, we're going to take a look at something today that we have no idea what it is. But before we do that, if you want to like the video, feel free. And if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. So that's it. That was my spiel.
There you go.
That's simple to the point. What we're doing today is what is a pantomime? History, traditions, and culture. And, you know, I asked Debbie, I'm like, so we're going to do a fun intro for this? What do you say?
I said, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I said, I don't either. Because, again, we really don't understand what a pantomime is. So we have nothing and nowhere to go with this. See? That was my plan.
There you go.
No, I got nothing. We were told a little bit of stuff because we put up a poll on YouTube here. And all we know is it's like some different innuendos and things like that. Mostly the boys dress as girls and girls dress as boys.
Mm-hmm. In theater, a play.
Kid stuff. I don't know. It's a lot. And it's Christmassy and it's very, very, very British. And that we would not really understand just watching one. Right. So several people suggested we watch the video instead on trying to learn a little bit about it. So that's what we're going to do.
What is it? And like some history on it. Like,
no, nothing. Never even heard of these things until we started doing this channel. So it's not something that we know of that exists in our country.
Not that I know of.
I know it does in other countries, but not here. So we're going to learn. We have no clue. Laugh at us. We don't know what we're doing here. We're going to find out what a pantomime is finally, once and for all. So hopefully you're excited. I'm excited to find out finally.
I am too. Then I'll be in the know.
You'll be in the know. So let's do this together and take a ride down the pantomime road. Is that a thing?
It is now. Let's
do it.
Men in drag, double entendres, gags, and it's behind you!
What was that? That's scary. What does that mean?
Pantomime, aka panto, is a type of musical comedy that's developed in England, and it is performed throughout UK and other English-speaking countries, usually during around Christmas or New Year times. It is based on a well-known fairy tale or fable, and it includes a lot of singing, dancing to pop songs, gender-crossing actors, slapstick comedy, lots of gags, and a lot of audience interactions. You're probably thinking, if it's a British tradition, then what does this Asian girl got to tell us about it?
I wasn't thinking
Here
that.
in Hong Kong, the pantomimes are actually one of the most consistent and longest running English theatre production here in Hong Kong.
Really?
So it's a big annual extravaganza, and it's been going on every year since 1961. And a lot of families and expats come back year after year as a tradition. Me, myself personally, I have been a part of several of the productions by Hong Kong players myself. And
so I know in that poll I put up about pantomimes, a lot of people said that most people over there in the UK have been in one. Let us know if you have, which one. Hopefully she'll show a clip of one in here.
As a performer and a choreographer. So for my local friends here in Hong Kong who wants to watch or be a part of the next production, or anyone anywhere around the world who just want to know what a pantomime is, here is my breakdown of the show.
Before she goes on, I don't know that we have anybody in Hong Kong that watches. If so, hi. Let us know.
Hi.
Let us know if we do. I would be surprised, but I would hope so. That'd be cool. All right, ready to learn this? Let's rewind that 5 seconds so I didn't miss it. Here we go. We're going to learn some stuff. Learn some more stuff.
Around the world who just want to know what a pantomime is, here is my breakdown of the show.
I want to know.
The history of pantomime.
Okay.
So pantomimes are developed partly from a theatre art form called commedia dell'arte from Italy in the 16th century.
Your people.
And also with a combination of other European and English stage tradition in the 17th century, including masque, music hall, and harlequinade. So commedia dell'arte is a type of improvised comedy performed by professional actors in the streets of Italy, and eventually they moved up to France and then to UK, and because they were performed by Europeans that didn't really speak English, so the early form of pantomime was actually silent. So they performed mainly through dancing and gestures, and you know, so that's why hence the word mime in pantomime.
Oh,
but now
That makes sense.
That's cool. Did you even know that? Let us know. Come on, be honest. Some of you didn't know that. I guarantee some of you did not know that.
Yeah.
No way. Let's see the people who are brave enough to admit they didn't know that.
Right. Be brave.
Be brave. Come out of the
didn't.
shell. That's cool. You might have known that. I feel bad if you did. I'm sorry. Okay, interesting.
Now it is one of the noisiest type of theater you can attend.
Okay, that changed.
There are characters from Commedia dell'arte and Harlequinade that are still key elements to today's pantomimes. So here are some characters that are commonly seen in a pantomime from the early days that were based on Harlequinade.
Okay.
So first we have the young lovers, of course, Harlequin and his true love Columbine. So this is based on the Commedia dell'arte's the second actor and actresses who are always up here, very grand, very innocent, very youthful and light on their feet. So this is usually the prince and princesses of a pantomime. So the principal boy is traditionally played by a woman in pantomimes. Why? Because it helps to sell tickets. So back in 1800s, men didn't want to show the shape of their legs for modesty's sake. And even when they play piano, they cover the legs of the piano so you don't get to see the men's legs behind it. But back then, women were wearing corsets and shapely things while performing on stage and on the streets. So they were offered to be on stage to play the lead principal boy in the condition that they would wear tights and show their shapely legs because apparently back then people really wanted to see nice calves and ankles. We still do. But they were offered to play that role on that condition, and apparently it really helps to sell tickets. And for us, we still do that. Hong Kong players still sometimes have a woman as the lead principal boy. Not always in tights, but we still do that sometimes, depending on the cast we see. So also in the Harlequinade is the Pantaloon. He's the overprotective father who's usually a bit greedy and also foolish. And under him there are two servants. The clown, who eventually gets developed by Joseph Grimaldi into a more of a sidekick of the Harlequin.
You said clown?
Yeah.
I ain't going. Nope. Morbid fear of clowns.
Gets turned into a clown.
No, thank you.
Character.
Oh, no.
And he becomes the more slavish, foolish character, while the Harlequin develops into a more stylized the prince and less of a classic Harlequin jester kind of character. And the other servant sometimes is in love with Columbine. So of course nowadays there are a lot more characters in a pantomime, and the characteristics of these 5 Harlequinade characters get shared or spread amongst more characters. So for example, the prince sometimes have a sidekick who's also in love with the princess, or you know, the evil villain has 2 assistants or servants who are the henchmen, and instead of they're not servants to the father anymore, and the father might not be so greedy, he might just be a bit innocent and foolish, you know. So there are lots of characters now, and also usually we have an ensemble. For us in Hong Kong players, we have teens and children as the ensemble who dances around the main characters. But most importantly, a panto would not be a panto without the dame. So a dame is basically a man playing a woman in flamboyant costumes and makeup, and she has a larger-than-life comedic presence, and she is outrageous, flirtatious, a bit vain, but a very strong character. And she usually plays an older woman, maybe the mother of Aladdin, with the exception in Cinderella, she might be the...
It says drop pants here for attention. I keep...
Aladdin, with the exception in...
Drop pants here for immediate attention. Okay. Single socks looking for a soulmate.
That's cute.
Wash, dry, fold, repeat.
I really like the costumes. They seem really over-exaggerated for theater.
This one looks like hairspray, or is it hair? Hairspray meets Aladdin.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is interesting. She's got a lot of information here.
Yeah, she does. I'm
is
glad we're getting the history.
More than I expected, but interesting at the same time.
In Cinderella, she might be the stepmother as well as the ugly sister. So there might be 3 dames in Cinderella. For our one, we had 2 dames. But yeah, she's the one that usually interacts a lot with the audience and breaks the fourth wall, and usually she gets the crowd going as well. The story of Pantos are always based on well-known fairy tales and fables, but they are rewritten every year to include a lot of like modern twists, pop songs, and topical jokes about current affairs or pop culture.
That makes sense.
To keep things fresh and relevant. So, for example, our Snow White turns into Lara Croft and saves the day eventually because our princess is pretty useless.
Okay, that's kind of awesome.
Girl power. And also, we make fun of parts of the fairy tale, which you already knew, but but seems pretty strange today. For example, like, what's with all the princess going kissing people while they're asleep?
Right.
That's not cool. So, we make fun of all that, but it's pretty lighthearted and it's all for a good time. A very important part of pantomime is the audience participation. That's why I said it's one of the noisiest type of theater you can attend. So for example, some of the things that happen is when the villain comes out, you can boo and hiss at them. And there's a scene called It's Behind You. So when a ghost or monster appears behind the heroes, you have to tell them, you have to yell, "It's behind you," and let them know. And, like, "It's behind me, my
The cat. So, like, the closest thing I could think of to that would be going to see Rocky Horror Picture Show in person, like I have done a million times in my life.
Yep.
We still have that playing in Cincinnati almost every weekend at midnight on Saturday nights. I'm sure you guys have it over there because it's British anyway.
A lot of interaction.
Yeah, which is the closest thing I could think of. And that's kind of draggy. Yeah.
Well, at least now, like the beginning of this video now makes sense. It's behind you.
Yeah. And I know there's another saying I've heard in the comments of that poll I put up too. People kept saying like, "Oh no, you didn't," and I don't know what that means.
Okay.
And I don't. She hasn't said that yet, so I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It's behind me, my cat.
Robert, over here.
That way.
Come on, everybody. Where's the wee ones gone?
The wee ones.
Oh no. That's the first time I've seen 7 pulled off at once.
Gotta keep going.
Snow. Oh, Snow. I'm scared, Snow.
I'm very scared.
Right. Please stay with me. Let's do this together.
Okay.
All right, Vanessa, get us out of here, please. What do you say?
It's behind you. Come on, Daddy. You already used participation. It's behind you. It's behind you. Yeah, Laura Croft, Snow White. There you go.
Maybe it's Laura Snow.
Nice job,
Girl power!
We helped. We were just part of a pantomime.
We were. Good thing it's
And there's usually a lot of call and responses with the dame. So, for example, the dame might go, "Oh, I'm gorgeous, aren't I, boys and girls?" And the audience is like, "Oh, no, you're not. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, no."
It's a lot like Rocky Horror Picture Show in person.
Yeah.
I know this started. Maybe is that where Rocky Horror Picture Show, like, in-person theater started?
Maybe.
Kind of, did it? I don't know. Is that where some of that came from? I'm interested now.
It probably is.
I'm just curious. Brad, Janet, Dr. Scott. Sorry, I won't go on.
"Oh, you're not." So that goes on for a while. And usually because Pantos are done around Christmas times, there's a section called, the song sheet. So we invite kids on stage to sing a Christmas song with us and the audience as well. So everyone's singing along together. And for us in Hong Kong Plays, we usually have a special golden ticket and we give them out at the beginning. And so some kids get to come out and get a prize from our sponsors, So some other interesting conventions and traditions in a panto are the evil villain always enters from stage left and the heroes from stage right.
Okay.
But, we kind of follow it loosely because of creative reasons. So sometimes we might have them come on the other side. But yeah, that is one of the traditions of a pantomime. There's always a panto animal. So for us, we have the panto cow. Her name's Daisy, but
Did you see that? You looked away for a second. Did you see that? Watch. Did you,
the milk out.
Did you? Oh, you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's hilarious.
I think her name's Daisy.
I love that.
there's usually a transformational scene, like using the magic of theater. So for example, in Cinderella, it would be when she transformed and gets her dress and the carriage.
Cool.
In Aladdin, that's when the genie is revealed. And I think this tradition is because of back in the day, they didn't really have so much technology, pulleys and things like that. So the scene changes happen with people manually changing the set. And because if it's done manually, then it's like, whoa, you know, it's quite a big moment in the show. But now we also do that by using, you know, bars and flies and projection and things like that, using the magic of theater.
I'm just really quickly wanting to say, like, so far from what we're seeing here, I didn't think it was this big of a production. I thought it was just like, just people on a stage that's like very minimal, like a kid's like elementary school stage or something.
More like low scale and
very low scale.
And this is definitely a huge production.
No, I'm sure there probably are some lower scale ones, but this is this may be a, I don't know, bigger production, but still, it's surprising. I didn't know that this much went into this, and it's so much different than what I thought it was.
Yeah,
I would go to this.
I like how she said they take some of the modern stuff and twist it into the older stories and change it up every year, every time they do it, so that way the story is different.
And I'm all about audience participation and making Debbie really embarrassed.
And this tradition, please let me know if it's a Hong Kong players thing or if it's actually a pantomime tradition elsewhere as well.
We can't help you.
So for us, Hong Kong players, on our very last show, we usually play some pranks on people or challenge the cast in a way that doesn't affect the show. So for example, one year they sang Flying Without Wings, and there was 4 bar stools, so just, you know, to give the boy band look. And on the very last show, I saw the princess running across backstage with a tiny stool. So what she did was replace one of the bar stools with a tiny one. So, you know, when they started singing, the actor's like,
that's like any play,
3 of them's up here, and one
people do that.
pedestal all the way down here, and it looked hilarious, but it didn't really affect the show because, you know, he just like went on with it, and that was really funny for us to look at. That, and another year, you know, the adult cast have to somehow fit in the word sausage in the dialogue somehow, fit in the show, casually, whatever, sexually, just fit it in somehow. But yeah, I don't know if that's a Hong Kong players thing or if it's actually a pantomime tradition, but please let me know if you also do it somewhere, not in Hong Kong. Please leave a comment and let me know. And another tradition that we have, also I don't know if it's a Hong Kong thing or if it's a Panto thing, but at our wrap-up party, we have an after-show show. So what we do is the crew usually, the backstage crew, they do parodies of songs that are in the show, but the parodies are about the cast and the production.
That'd be fun.
So, you know, it's like a mini panto, not the panto. But so this is also a tradition of ours. Please let me know if this is a general panto thing or if it's just our company that does this. Anyway, that's all I have for you today about pantos. I know it sounds really ridiculous and crazy and outrageous, but I think it's the kind of culture that you have to go and experience for yourself to really understand.
That's what everyone keeps
telling
us.
I totally recommend it. It's pure joy. It's great entertainment.
All right, don't leave, guys. I got a couple questions here. I'm sure you do too. So that was very informative.
That was.
I didn't expect to come out learning that much about it. I do think she's right to some degree, but I don't know. I think we could still get an idea from watching one, which is what we were going to do, like I said.
I'm very glad she put those little clips in there so you could see it.
Yes.
We didn't necessarily hear it, but we could definitely see it.
Well, she did have that one in there with her and the guy that we could hear, and that was fun. The milk with the cow. That was just epic. I would enjoy it.
If milking cows were that easy, I would milk cows.
Would you?
Yeah.
Odd conversation that just popped up.
Wouldn't it?
But no, I just want to know, so how much the tickets cost? Is it an expensive thing? I would assume not, just because I know it's family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what is that? What is the cost? That's one question I had. Did you have a question? So I don't want to take them all.
No, you go ahead.
What's the length of a pantomime? What's the average length? Is it like an hour? Is it 2 hours? Is there an intermission if it's longer? Stuff like that. Is it all over the United Kingdom? Who has the best? Don't say London. It's probably London. I don't know. But, you know, what are your favorite ones? I know we've heard Aladdin.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, okay.
Snow White.
Yeah, she was looking up ones for us for if we were going to do an actual video on one. But what's like the one that's like the best? Or are they all different because they are different every year and different people doing them? Have there ever been any celebrities that got their start in a pantomime?
Oh, good.
I said questions. I'm sitting here like,
that's a good question.
Soaking all this up, like, oh, I would love to know that answer. So I definitely have questions. So please let us know in the comments. And if you liked this video, tickle that little like button and consider subscribing to the channel, and you can be part of this weirdness.
That's right. Join us in our weirdness.
Who knows where we're going with this thing? We don't know. But I did enjoy that. I thought it was a lot of information. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching on this Magic Monday. We hope that you enjoyed this. Let us know if you learned something with us. And we will be back on Wednesday.
We will, and hopefully you'll join us.
I'm being creepy, sorry. Thanks again, guys. We appreciate your support, and we will see you Wednesday. Of course, please always love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye.
Bye.